Your phone. Connect. Open your phone screen.
Yowza.
Hootie ha.
Itun ho. Hootine.
I'll just do front camera. Fuck it.
Yes.
That'll be easy enough. Partake Solutions.
It's a solution squadron.
All right. Squared away. Back it up.
All right. We're rolling.
Turn it around.
Back it up. Turn it around. Flip it again.
It's intrusion. Okay, cool.
Okay, kids.
Smack a clown.
Let's go.
Smack a clown around town.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Hello.
Holy shit. It ain't C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Is he talking about us?
Found someone you have, I would say.
Can you send me that link for the feed again?
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squadron podcast. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh. Rogue
I am-
Squadron. Oh.
I am Mopar.
I'm Commander Code. How we doing, everybody? How we doing on this fine evening? Are you getting snow? Are you getting blizzards?
Yeah, it's been snowing since 6 a.m. this morning out here.
It's been trying to. There's been flakes coming down all day, but I can't say that much of it is sticking to that ground there.
Yeah, we had. I had to be up early this morning for some stuff, but it was supposed to just rain
Yeah.
throughout like 2 p.m. this
Yeah.
afternoon, and it was snowing when I woke up, and it snowed through about noon.
Ooh.
So we had probably 3 inches on the ground, and then it rained away a little bit. So back at it again.
You already know.
Star Wars.
You already know. Man, we gotta talk about. We're gonna talk about a number of things, but man, what a crazy week. What a crazy episode.
Is that so?
What a crazy holiday.
Episode
what a
as in
crazy
our
weekend.
episode?
Our episodes are always crazy. You already see what's on Mopar's face over here. 3D glasses and some Zevo water. Rocking
Zevo.
it on the
what
podcast.
the fuck is Zevo? Oh,
I don't know. That's what it looked like your water said. Zevo.
Zevia. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
that's
tastes
close.
like fake.
It tastes like fake. It's not real water.
I really hate it. They really do. But it gives me a
You got
little.
water that comes from the Alps. That's not even true. It's not even true.
Yep. The Swiss
yeah.
Alps.
Of course, you know I'm talking about the Mandalorian, my guy. So we'll get into that. But yeah, quite exciting.
Mando was good. Let me bring up. I did have a snippet of notes. Obviously, the unfortunate passing
Yes,
of one Darth Vader.
the OG Lord Vader, David Prowse.
David Prowse, thank you. You know what's kind of, well, it's not funny, but when I saw his face, because obviously we don't see the actor's face in Star Wars. He's the man in the suit, where we get a lot of Vader's mannerisms. It comes from David Prowse. So
All the pointing, the
yeah,
choking.
the pointing, the choking, the stances, the broad shoulders, a lot of the stuff that you don't, outside of obvious, script and stuff that he says, which isn't him. There's a large aspect of Vader's essence that was brought to screen through Mr. Prowse. And
I mean, he's 50% of Vader. Yeah.
yeah, I guess my point was he was a bodybuilder in his younger days. And the one thing that I always noticed about Vader was that stance that he rested his thumbs on his utility belt. So you know what I'm talking about?
I want to say yes, but I can't picture it in my head.
Let me see if I can bring up just Vader. Let me just search standard
Vader power stance.
Vader
The
power
original
stance.
power stance. Yeah.
Whoa, that was unexpected.
Be careful with that Zevia there, bro.
It's getting to you.
Gurgling to the surface.
Gurgling. That's ridiculous. It's like his most famous. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, his most famous stance, I feel like, is either the choke or the point. So,
Well, that's up there too.
is he left-handed? I never bothered to realize, is Vader left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed with he's reaching out to Luke with his left hand in episode 5, but in the choke scene in episode 4, he's using his right-handed choke, and he's using his right hand to point at Leia. Listen up, bitch! I know you're hiding a video of me fucking that penguin.
Fucking thing and some floppy disks with secret information, and I need it back, please. Yeah, I'm not seeing a power stance that you're discussing here.
Oh, here it is.
Maybe it's some fantasy that you had.
I found it. Let me.
Some real dark dream from one of your dreams.
You gotta allow this sharing of the shits.
Oh, I hate it. Zoom. Let me do multiple things. All right, try now.
All right, I literally had to search Darth Vader stance. But this one where he rests his hands like on his belt.
Yes. When he's considering what his underlings have to say. What's the report?
Who am I going to choke today?
Yes. Which officer is getting dead today?
Is arriving nowhere. Yeah, so it was that like stance. It always made me, it made sense, I guess, in my head because David Prowse was a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Early on. So like if you're broad shouldered and got a lot of upper body heaviness, well, in general, it's nice to like rest on your arms on your hips or something because it takes the weight off of your shoulders and back and stuff. So I do that with my thumbs. I'll dig my thumbs into my belt and just let my arms hang. It's a weird thing. But that I've always noticed that because I do it. It takes a lot of weight off your shoulders, and him being a bodybuilder, it makes sense because he's really top heavy and he's Darth Vader and he has a lot of things on his mind.
Bodybuilders use power stance. Mopar uses power stance. Mopar is a bodybuilder.
I'm Darth Vader.
Mopar is Darth Vader. Bodybuilders are Sith Lords. That's what I'm getting from this conversation.
I mean, essentially, if you want to cut through
if
the
we're
crypt.
getting to the details, honestly.
Yeah, if you can't fake the funk, baby. You just jump right in. So everybody knows. Yeah, of course. Again, unfortunate passing. Yeah, he had a hell of a life. If you look back, and I suggest that you do, just do a quick like Wikipedia on David Prowse. He was in Clockwork Orange, which just a small little, which I've always known, but I never thought about. It's weird because as soon as I read about his passing, I was like, I saw his face. I was like, oh, the dude from Clockwork Orange. And then I was like, wait, that's Darth Vader. What the fuck? And I was like,
yeah, because you don't immediately connect his face,
Mm-hmm.
And there's been I want to say nice. I mean, it is nice. It's heartwarming, but it's also sad. A nice picture going around of the original 5 cast members, like behind the scenes. They're all hanging out. And obviously, I think it's 6 actually. And 4 of them are in the Force Ghost blue. And it's just Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill remaining from the OT.
Yeah, I think Dryly, one of our patrons, shared that, and it was a powerful picture. I saw that and I was like, "Damn!"
Yeah,
like that. Like Kenny Baker's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Fisher.
I said only 2 remaining. That's a mistake. Anthony Daniels obviously is alive and well. He was just not
wasn't
in that photo.
That picture. Yeah. So yeah, we've lost Carrie, we've lost Peter Mayhew, Kenny Baker, and now David Prowse. So, of that 4, all we have left is Luke and Han.
Han Solo.
Yeah, and it's a famous picture. Everybody's seen it, but it is powerful now that 4 of the 6 are gone. You really start thinking, man, these people aren't young anymore. Yeah. So,
famous actors and also famous musicians. I mean, it's getting to be that time, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah. Especially with the stuff that we grew up with, that our parents grew up with.
Indeed.
Like you look at the Black Sabbaths, the Rolling Stones, the AC/DCs, Pink Floyds, and all that. It's like Beatles. There's still Beatles around. Like, what the fuck?
Did I hear that AC/DC is recording a new album, or did I just
they
dream that?
They released a new song. It's on the radios now.
Interesting.
It's like your standard ass. It's fine. It's like if you are really into AC/DC, you're like, oh, okay, yeah. It's classic AC/DC. Nothing special. Yes. But I would almost argue, and this is gonna sound bad. There was nothing ever crazy special about AC/DC. They was just straight lined classic rock. They were really good for what they did, and they stayed in that lane, and they always did. So it was just like as rock and roll as you can get. So
You might say that's what's special about them, Mopar, from a certain point of
No,
view.
yeah. It's just, it's very, very repetitive.
No frills.
Yeah.
No frills, hard rock. That's it.
Yeah. No bashing them. But yeah, like you said, we've had an unfortunate past, like 5 years, man. It's since we started the podcast. You think of the big names that have passed. It's like Jesus. So yeah, but we do have a lot of stuff to look forward to as well.
We do. I'm optimistic. We have a lot of things to say about this episode. I'm sure everybody has a lot of feelings about this most recent episode of The Mandalorian, but it really, I feel like it broke open what my perception of the future of Star Wars was. I feel like, oh, they're probably not going to go there. They're not going to do that. They're going to play this safe. They're going to do that or whatever. Well, what they kind of squeeze into this episode of The Mandalorian really made me rethink all of that. So I don't know if you want to dive into that right away.
We'll hold off a little bit.
Savor it.
Sorry. Well, we'll hold off a little bit because I do have some. It was a great episode. I'm excited for the future, but I still do have my reservations with some of the things that some of the some of the drops that they're doing,
reveals, hints,
some of the reveals,
Easter eggs.
Yeah, I just it's like great as it sits right now, but depending on how they go forward with it, I have my reservations, but great episode. Obviously we see the drop of Ahsoka, so we'll chat about that. Hello everybody in the chat, Brennan, Chad, just a little podcast, and
welcome,
and Chad again.
Chad.
Yeah, let me. I was planning on bringing this shit up, and then I got sidetracked looking at David.
It's okay.
Looking at Darth Vader and how he stands.
I got a quick little thing. I was pleasantly reminded about the Episode 1 Pod Racer remake that was on Nintendo Switch, and I pulled it up on the Nintendo store, and it was half off for Black Friday. So I swooped that up. It's only $15. So even though the sale's over, like if you have a Switch and you used to love that game, or you like Star Wars at all, definitely check out the Episode 1 Pod Racer remaster for Switch. So yeah, I got it for $7.50, and
nice.
It paid itself off in just like an hour or two of playing it.
Yeah,
just hearing Watto like do his little hum and chant at the cantina, that was enough for me. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, it's definitely memory lane. That's where you're at.
It's cool because there's some new stuff in it, and I don't know if they made it new or if there was like a bunch of files sitting around from when they made the game, but they didn't make it to the final version. But so it's remastered and it plays in like high def, but it's still made with like Nintendo graphics. So it's crystal clear as far as like being able to see it on the TV. So it's not like in 480p or whatever, but it's still like blocky 64-bit stuff. So it's interesting how they did it. They didn't make it like brand new. They just made a cleaner version of the polygons, I guess.
The polygons are brighter. You can tell it's really bad quality.
No, it's great. It's hilarious. I
ended up getting so bored I busted out the NES and I plugged up
I
Anticipation.
Saw that.
Mario. I'll probably boot up some Contra, but I have it seemingly permanently plugged into my television. I figured out a way to do two things at once. So that'll be on the docket. Poke around with that. The NES is always fun.
Did you get any? Obviously, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We are just a few days past. Did you get anything for Black Friday? Any new hot additions to the homestead?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I did.
All right.
I just I bought while we're on the gaming thing. I think I mentioned it. I bought Far Cry 5 because it was like 75% off. So I'm excited to jump into that. I just haven't yet. For like the same $15 for a brand new game all over again. Let's boot it up. I enjoyed 4 enough that 5. I think 5 setting is in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be, a little more familiar. So it should be pretty fun.
Very cool. Nice. Congratulations.
So, Yeah, and today's Cyber Monday. I kept looking and looking and looking. Don't need it. Really need anything. Oh, I guess I did. I lied. So I bought one of the new Xbox controllers.
Oh yeah, I did see you send that through the WhatsApp. Nice. What's your opinion thus far?
It's day and night. It's so smooth, so clicky, so responsive. Just I mentally, it's like it feels a tad heavier. Glad
Is it the
Summer-
new version of it, or do you think
Yeah.
it's just like fresh because it's brand new? Or
Maybe
both?
a little bit of both. They so like the back of the controller, you know how they add that texture, that grip.
Mhm.
They
Yep.
added the texture to the triggers too.
Very nice. I like that.
So there's like real subtle things. The D-pad's a little different. Again, it just feels a little more responsive. My old one, the RB button broke. It wouldn't work anymore. And then I went back to my old one, and it would just constantly disconnect for no reason. So it was just time to upgrade. And they were $20 off. I was like, this is brand new.
It's good for controller.
Yeah.
So you're saying the newer one that you had bought is already kind of busted? Like that blue one that you had is already kind of busted?
The blue one, the RB doesn't work anymore.
Damn,
So-
that's a bummer. That went quick.
Yeah.
It's been like a year, right?
maybe 3. I think I bought it in PA, so that was about 3 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I lied.
Yeah. So yeah, well, if you need an Xbox controller, get the new one. I like
Get
it.
the new one, yeah.
especially if it's still discounted at Best Buy. $20 off for $40 for brand new. Fuck, let's do it.
Yeah.
Um.
Can't deny it.
Yeah. So I did watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yay. I was going to ask, what'd you think?
Truthfully,
I can't tell if you're like, that was a terrible laugh and you're going to destroy it, or if that was a cute laugh and you're like, oh, yeah.
I was not impressed, to say the least. Like there
Okay.
was like really small quippets that I was like, haha, they put that in there. That's really funny. And they made fun of themselves throughout the bit. But
Yeah.
I guess one of the biggest reasons that just I couldn't connect with it was the voice actress for Rey tried to do Rey so over the top. It was just like, just talk, girl. Like, you don't even have to sound like it. Was so annoying.
Solo.
Yeah.
Master Skywalker.
Solo. I was like, Jesus, take it back a full notch. Like, calm down. And
Well,
I
that's
just,
a bummer.
yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I don't know. I expected more, to be honest, especially it being Lego. Like, they do everything so well, and the comedy team's usually behind it.
Yeah.
Are
was
pretty smooth. Yeah, I just wasn't for me.
I had a lot of actual laugh out loud moments. I thought it was good. I agree with you completely about the voice actors for Rey.
Yeah, I like immediately knew it wasn't her because it was so over. It's like people doing Arnold. Arnold doesn't actually sound like it really felt like that. It was so over the top Daisy Ridley that it just was not her anymore. So I was over
I can
it.
understand that. Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot
yeah.
to like in it, though. I thought it was interesting. You know, it was fun. It was funny. Lots of stuff I laughed at when Kylo Ren was dancing around shirtless and like humming his own little tune. I thought that was hilarious.
yeah.
And the old and the young Han together. The whole scene where there's just like 50 Star Wars characters just fall out of the portal into Tatooine and start fighting each other, I think is fucking hilarious.
The ridiculousness of it was pretty good. Like I said, there were bits in there that I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty fucking funny. That's hilarious. And they were poking fun at themselves. You know,
Yeah.
Can we put a shirt on before we leave, or like when? Yeah, I don't know. I was like, well, whatever.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm about to
It's
be
cute.
done talking.
It's heartwarming. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I had no expectations. I just thought it was fun that it's just so funny 40 years later that the most embarrassing thing in Star Wars history has become a cult classic for how bad it is and has now been revived in like Lego version with the new era. I guess, you know, before Disney bought Star Wars, I never would have pictured that happening. So it was nice. Yeah, it was cute. I wish I had a kid right now so I could watch it with them.
You know what's weird is I almost wish they did more with Chewbacca's family. They were like in it, but it was.
Yeah, I was hoping we would have gotten some callbacks to like the awful circus table machine or the weird VR porn stuff or something. Obviously not in porn fashion, but some, I don't know. I was expecting a little bit of the original thrown in there, but it was just Chewbacca's family got on the Falcon and then that was it. Ran around.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't let me turn you guys off from watching it. Yeah, I think you should watch it.
Oh, I won't.
It just
I've watched it. I've already watched it 7 times. I'm trying to find all the Easter eggs. I'm trying to create theories based on what happens in the Lego Holiday Special.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's get back to the real. Yeah, let's get back to the real point of
the real girth of the wars, man.
That I don't really care about any of it anymore. Darth Vader is the only thing I really care about. Like, why am I watching a Mandalorian? It should be called The Darth Vader, and we should be watching him slowly choke every single person in humanity.
I think you can go to YouTube and watch fan fiction for that.
Yeah,
watch fan fiction.
That's what I'm about to do because the rest of this shit, it just.
I need to know what you pulled up because you sound mad and I don't know what you're mad about.
I'm not. I'm just generally pissed.
That's your daily standard. Are you more or less pissed?
No, it is.
What are you more or less pissed about?
It's weird that there's never enough Vader. There really isn't. They could give me Vader books, Vader comics, Vader video games, more Vader movies, and it's like, why isn't Vader in The Mandalorian? I don't care if he's dead. Like, bring him back. I don't like, make it work, Disney. You could have you're fucking up everywhere. So,
well, that's a testament to how good of a character he is. However,
yeah, it's pretty crazy that we grew up with Vader being number one. The original trilogy people grew up with Vader being number one, and now we have this new era where like Vader. We're moving on from him, which rightfully so. I get it, but I'm going to be the stubborn old fuck that like Vader was Star Wars for me, and it's not that we can't grow from there, but it is nice to go back and watch episode 3 and watch Anakin get pissed and kill everything. It is nice to watch episode 5 Vader walk into Hoth base very pissed. Yeah, what's weird is, have you seen a lot of or felt a lot of emotion come from The Mandalorian? In general, I'm talking about all characters, all episodes. Have you really felt like someone was truly pissed, or someone was truly happy, or someone was truly longing or lost, or like I don't know if I felt that yet.
Yeah, I got a couple moments. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt that way for sure. I mean, the whole scene when Din finally takes his helmet off and IG connects with him. I got some feels there. I get some creepy vibes and some chills from Moff Gideon. Obviously cute vibes from Baby Yoda for sure.
I haven't even seen Gideon mad. It's weird. Like,
I know, but that's why it's so creepy. It's like Tarkin. It's like he's so calm. Like,
but Tarkin felt mad. Like,
yes,
he felt
condescending for sure.
No, he felt pissed. Like, you looked at Tarkin and you could tell he himself.
The regional governor.
Yeah, the way he talked, like small little things. I don't know. I'm criticizing to a fault.
I got like chills with the Long Live the Empire. That was chilly for sure. When that officer says "Long live the Empire," and then he kills his own dudes, and then he kills himself because he doesn't want to give up the secrets. I got feels there. I gasped audibly a couple times in the most recent episode.
Yeah, so did I. So did I. I guess the characters in Mando, I have never seen Din happy, sad, truly pissed. Like, maybe a little bit scared.
You know why? Because you can't see his face.
I know Vader's pissed. Let's get that across right now. I know when R2-D2's happy. I know when C-3PO is frustrated.
Vader's just always pissed until he's powdered donut at the end with his helmet off, and then you can see that he's sad. The rest of the time, that's default. He's just pissed all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just here and here.
Just here to talk about Darth Vader.
That's really my point. That's actually all my notes here. Just start with Darth Vader is king.
Darth Vader was. Darth Vader should be.
And all and ever will be.
I mean,
okay.
I will say that sometimes the weight of the universe of Star Wars can make me prioritize like Easter eggs and reveals more than the actual plot. But I think that's just like my own thing, just like waiting for the new Jedi reveal or the new First Order Empire connection. I don't think it has anything to do with like.
No, that's a good point though.
Is weakened. I think that's just me. Like I'm looking out for every little thing, you know.
But I think, I guess it's a good issue that you brought up because I was along. I have some notes here that are along the same lines. We're no longer as fanboys. We're like subconsciously watching Mando for the Easter eggs. We're no longer watching it for the content that's on it. And you know, you can play both sides. You can, I mean, but it feels like Disney is. I have a quote here from Star Wars Explained that really made me start thinking. And he said, is Mando, quote, overly connected now? And I thought that was a really good question because we're tossing shit at the screen. While I love a lot of the stuff that they're tossing, pretty much all of it, they are connecting shit left and right, every background thing, which is the nice thing about Star Wars. You can have that. Every little thing on the screen can be connected. But that's what I guess we got to the point in the Marshall episode where every corner, it was Boba Fett's armor. It was this. It was a crate dragon. Of course, it's Anakin's pod racer. It's this. We see the pit droid. Like, it's everything on screen has to be connected to something we know. And I'm like, I don't know if that's necessary. We could point to a pod racer. And it would still make the same connection. But of course, it has to be Anakin's pod racer.
I mean, some of that, though, I feel like is just general building the world that you see, building the world that you plop the Mandalorian down and you know that it's Star Wars without anyone having to tell you that it's Star Wars, you know?
Right. But
I feel like you can be overly critical and never listen and like talk about, it's Anakin's pod racer and not just another pod racer, but it's still a pod racer. Someone took a scrap pod racer and made a speeder out of it. That's just like putting you in the vibe of Tatooine.
Yeah, but obviously they didn't put Anakin Skywalker's pod racer in there for the Marshal. They put it in there for the viewers. It's no longer about building a world. It's about making connection with your viewer. I don't know. I like the Mando. They're doing everything pretty much perfectly.
I agree with you to an extent, but I would just go back to the fact that like that is nice flavor for us and is just something cool for everybody else.
I guess my point is,
yes,
if we watch The Force Awakens, we get like 3 Easter eggs in the entire movie, and it's a small little thing. Finn going through that bin on the Falcon, and he finds the training probe and tosses it aside. Small little thing.
Yeah,
and we all catch it. Now it's like every corner, every character, everything. It's no longer it's an Easter egg hunt. Instead of watching a story, that's what it is now.
It can.
I
be.
like it.
It can be.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stumble on my words.
I guess I would say Anakin pod racer engine as a speeder is the same level as Finn finding the training probe on the Falcon.
No,
it's just he's just driving on screen. It's not like he talked about it. It's not like they had a close up on it. It's not like he fucking talked about the horsepower. Like it's just he wrote it across the screen twice. And that's
First of all, we're talking about picking one pod out of most likely hundreds on an entire planet. You're comparing that to the only training probe on one ship.
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. We're Easter egg hunting, and we are finding a lot. That's the key to Mando, because there's a lot of Easter eggs to find.
Well, isn't this our fault? Aren't we the ones to blame?
No, we are not. I've said from the very beginning, I like the fan service stuff. Don't just do fan service stuff.
I don't think they
that's
are.
My that's my scared.
I don't think they are just doing it.
Oh my God. you are a shill today.
Listen, the freaking first episode starts with Baby Yoda, who we know the Yoda species, force sensitive, and there's only one.
Mhm.
You can't start the show with that and expect them never to bring up the Jedi or make a connection to the Jedi or Yoda or somebody. It's gonna happen at some point.
Absolutely.
It's not like they hit it. It's not like all of a sudden Ahsoka comes out of nowhere and makes a prequel connection, and everyone's like, "Oh, why are we at the prequels now?" All of a sudden, out of nowhere, that feels like fan service and not part of the story. I feel like that was gonna happen at some point.
There are more connections in The Mandalorian than any other bit of material ever.
Maybe that's because it's the first show and they have the opportunity to
Maybe
lay it out over the course of hours and hours and hours instead of just one movie.
There is a lot of screen time. Now, like the toss away episodes, I always go back to the village. That's the nice thing that was about that village.
Yeah.
Like there were no connections. It was just a village on a planet, and it was just NAATST. And maybe the species of the raiders that were in there were probably pulled from the Ewok movies or some weird shit.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it wasn't like oblivious. Let's pull this lore to fill this. Let's pull this. Oh, this was in a video game. Let's pull this. I feel like they are building upon. They're building their stories around the Easter eggs, is what it feels like. They're not laying the story out in front of you and then placing bits and pieces. I don't know. We could go back and forth all day.
I don't outright disagree with that, but I think I need to watch the episode again and also see how the whole season plays out to really say for sure.
Yeah, of course. And we're getting to the end here pretty quickly. Brennan says in his chat here, oh, we're all over the place here, Brennan. You don't even need to hunt for the Easter egg at this point. They are shoving it down our throats.
I don't know, man.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I just don't know. Like,
open your eyes, man.
I mean, obviously, I caught the Easter eggs. I'm not saying that. I'm just.
You don't have to catch them. Is the point? They are. It's
okay.
Right
give me an example from the most recent episode. Let's hammer it in.
About what?
Either you or Brennan. Just give me an Easter egg from like the most recent episode that you thought was like egregious because it's right in your face.
The newest one wasn't that bad. I guess they would be the story, the background of Grogu. Of course, like it's kind of obvious. Like
we're in spoiler territory, everybody. By the way,
we're getting there very quickly. The fact that they said that he was trained at the academy or at the fucking temple. You know it. I'm sure that was written a long time ago, but the fact that, he was trained by Jedi masters that we all knew, and they haven't name dropped yet, but they basically said, he probably came across Anakin at some point. He probably, it's like they are making connections with where they don't even need to in backstory stuff. It would have been really, really nice to say that this was just a long lost Force user, that someone,
Yeah,
he had no connections to the Jedi at all. That would have been like primo.
Now we can argue about like how they rolled out Baby Yoda's backstory, but I don't think that's the same thing as like an Easter egg.
True. No, and like I said, the newest one wasn't terrible. It really wasn't. There actually was some really small stuff that I didn't even pick up that I had to look up. The droids that were used in the city were specific droids made by Revan, I think. Shinobi said they were like HK-80s.
I think it was HK-84, 86 or something.
Yeah.
I heard them say that and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Now that's not shoved down. Like you
if it's an old Republic Easter egg, you can put as many as you want.
But it's not like oblivious. Like even to a huge Star Wars fan, to us, like I had to look that up to be like, oh, okay, there is some backstory there. Instead of I don't know.
Well, I just heard someone say HK, and I was like, oh yeah, HK. It's a new version of the HK assassin droid. Hell yeah, it's awesome.
Nice. Yeah,
I don't know. I guess it feels like we're splitting hairs over, if they have a new model of the HK, that's cool because we all love HK-47.
But it's different.
Anakin's pod racer for a speeder, that's lame because they should have used another pod racer for a speeder. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, Mando's Mando. They're gonna do what they want to, regardless. Which It gets back to a point that we made eons ago,
I look like a Force Ghost right now, just FYI.
that they shouldn't listen to us. Star Wars or Disney shouldn't listen to the fan. They should just make a good movie, just make a good series. It feels like on the surface that they are doing the opposite. It is a good story. It is unique, but the fan service stuff has gotten to the point where it's like, I am truly interested in the story that you've laid out. Let's not overdo it. And we're slowly, especially with the biggest name drop of them all. And we've, of course, with Ahsoka being in this one, we knew it was coming, and of course, she couldn't even be the huge highlight of her own episode.
Well, she's a highlight. I just knew that there would be, because she was already announced, there would be another big drop or big reveal. I knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Didn't know who it was going to be. I gasped audibly a couple of times this episode.
I gasped when they said Thrawn. I was like,
yeah. Where is Grand Admiral Thrawn?
Yeah.
Everyone thought I was in pain.
Were you not?
No, I was great.
I was great. I was fine.
Ecstasy over Easter eggs. So what? All right, let's. There's a lot we can talk about in the episode, but since we just announced Thrawn, let's start there. So I've always thought that this is the first Star Wars series. They have potential to intertwine this with other new Star Wars series that might come out, or other new areas of canon that we haven't gotten to yet. So the fact that like they could name drop Thrawn, and then I'm not saying like season 3 of Mando has to be Thrawn, live action Thrawn. I mean, that'd be cool, but they could use that to revisit Thrawn's story and give us some new material in between episode 6 and 7 that we haven't gotten yet. I think that's totally fucking cool.
You know what name dropping Thrawn did for me? Made me gasp.
Yeah.
It made me
question
excited. It made me excited because it's like, oh shit! Now we're hard tying a lot. I mean, we've done so much so far, and then it really made me think, like, it would have been nice for Gideon just to be the bad guy. It would have been nice to build up on this new character that they launched for the Mando.
Yeah,
and him be the main. So I'm hoping they pull a Boba, which is unfortunate. That it's just a name drop and it's never going to lead to an on-screen evil guy that's going to be the main bad guy now. Maybe Moff Gideon is the main bad guy for the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Let's call it through the end of this season. And like you said, maybe Thrawn will be the main bad guy for season 3. But, simply name dropping him does a lot. And he's going to pull our attention regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
To himself. Like he's an attention puller. That's why everybody has always liked Thrawn. That's why the book's sold. That's why everybody likes him. He's blue. Look at him. He's cool.
Who doesn't like a blue guy?
Blue guys.
Yep.
Yeah. How did you like Ahsoka?
Well, I want to stick on the Thrawn thing and
Okay.
the connection thing and the larger story universe thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching a review video of episode, chapter 13, The Jedi?
Yeah.
And I saw a quote from Jon Favreau that I'd never seen before. And he says, as we introduce other characters, there are opportunities to follow different storylines. And then he goes on to say the world was really captivated by Game of Thrones and how that evolved as the characters follow different storylines. That's very appealing to me as an audience member. Now, I'd never heard this before, and we spent a lot of time talking about how The Mandalorian probably isn't going to go in that direction because of how they're organizing things. This changes things. I mean, the thread could go many ways. Like The Mandalorian, Din Djarin could have a role in some sort of finishing off the remnants of the Empire, or tying the Empire to the First Order, or restoring Mandalore, or it could stem into different series on Disney Plus that will explore that. That quote from Jon Favreau, I guess, opens a lot of doors, possibilities.
I mean, the possibilities are endless. They really are. With how much they're pulling and putting in on screen, whether I like it or not, or appreciate it or whatever, they are pulling a shit ton and putting it in front of us. So the possibilities are crazy, and with them name dropping Thrawn, the First Order is not too far away. There's Luke running around. We're in the time of Kyle Katarn. We could see some of the Valley of the Jedi shit.
Yeah,
Wasn't always my favorite, but childhood will always triumph over actual good stuff.
always.
So like, I guess my immediate thought is, because I did see that probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, that quote that you just said.
Yeah.
And it's funny that I read that, and then we look at season 1 and 2 of Mando, and they've done pretty much the opposite. It's like opportunities to split off, like especially with this last episode. I really was half hoping, half thinking maybe Ahsoka would take the child and something would happen and it would split off. Do I see, I don't know, like watching Din Djarin run around without Baby Yoda is kind of dumb to me to a certain extent, because that relationship is kind of the Mandalorian.
I agree.
So like I get why they kept them together, but it is weird to read that quote and then see where we are now, because we've been on one storyline doing side missions for seemingly two seasons. It's been a fun ride,
but I don't think that has to mean Mando and Baby Yoda. Like
No,
the Mandalorian, there could, like the Mandalorians as a culture could have a serious role to play in the Imperial Remnant and the transition to the First Order or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we still have a time period where Luke has to, restore the Jedi Order, the Jedi Temple. Like it could be Din Djarin like becoming like a major hero in this era.
My immediate thought also,
Din Djarin is the Jon Snow of this series.
I really have scary thoughts about that. That I'm frightened. I'm frightened that Din Djarin's
cold sweats at night.
He's gonna become a greater than hero. Like he's gonna be more than he thinks. And his father was this general, and his mother was a Jedi, and all of a sudden he's number one. It's like, it's cool with that he's a dude. Can we just keep him as a dude? That's like an important too. Like the Baby Yoda should be the main character. let's get that straight. Like he's the key to everything.
Din Djarin could easily still rise and become like a major player in that time period, and they can fuck off like any heritage,
Yeah, and I hope he does become a very powerful ally or whatever the fuck hero he want to plug in.
Yeah,
I don't want his heritage or his background to help him. I really do want him to earn it. Which would be nice, which we have seen him earn it. We've seen him do side stuff. I do have a, let's see here. I do have another, in my notes here.
Yes.
So let me run through my notes here real quick. Bullet point number 1, Ahsoka. Bullet point number 2, evil woman, because I couldn't remember the fucking staff wielding woman. I have Thrawn, Grogu. Is Mando overly connected now? And then my last one was creating a trail of good.
Ooh.
With all the
like
side
a corporate
missions,
initiative.
with all the side missions and all the side plots that Mando's been doing, we see him starting to affect the galaxy that's around him.
Yes.
We see Navarro turn around. We see the village that he saves. He's leaving this trail of good and destroying the Imperial Remnant, saving the child, saving a Kuil, even though he dies in the end, helping him. There is a trail of good. He's making changes in the Star Wars universe for the better. And when he comes across certain people like Boba Fett, I truly think Boba Fett probably looked down at his armor walking away, and he's like, it's probably in good hands. If that fucker took out a crate dragon and saved that little village, I'm gonna let him go, because I don't believe Boba Fett's truly evil. He just, I make money, do what I need to do,
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that creating a trail of good, he's making a difference by being a dude, which is really nice.
So there's story opportunity there for him to be like the casualties of him and Baby Yoda are usually like a net positive for the galaxy.
Very much so, yeah.
There's story opportunity there for him to like, get caught up in the cause of the rebellion or the New Republic or whatever, and then he literally is like trying to enact change on purpose.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity for him to grow, is like, becoming some hero of the New Republic or some shit. I don't know. I think I thought that the Mandalorian as a title for the show is kind of limiting, because it's like, obviously it's just one dude, but if that dude ends up getting wrapped up in the Imperial Remnant, I mean, it could go a number of different ways.
No, absolutely. I mean, Din's storyline by itself, it's still unlimited. He could do whatever the fuck, whatever he comes across. That's basically what the character they've built. He's just going to keep rambling and keep, protecting Baby Yoda. He's obviously not going to outlive the fucking child. So where does this end?
Mm-hmm.
Where Chewbacca gets a new owner because Han Solo died? Like someone needs to fill his water bowl at night. It's just.
Got to clone the knots out of
like where does it end with Din? When he found the Jedi he was looking for, and she's like, I ain't training that thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, fuck me. Let's keep rumbling around.
So I assume you watched the Star Wars Explained review of the episode. So, I mean, that is something that, as far as over connecting things, like having a cameo of a Jedi is really cool. But if he still believes that he has to get Baby Yoda trained by someone, I mean, now we're talking, we met Ahsoka, but does Luke Skywalker come into the mix? Does Cal Kestis come in the mix? Is he hunting down Jedi temples? How does that all play out? And I'm interested in it, but I guess if I am worried about the over connection, it would be looping in all the Jedi to create, Din Djarin is now wrapped up in Luke's new Jedi Order.
What was my mind's? I know it's a famous spot. What was the location? The Tython,
which I actually know almost nothing about. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, Tython.
I'm a bad fan.
See, same thing. I am scared. Well, you guys know my reservations. I just yelled at you guys for about a half hour.
Yes.
But with Ahsoka saying, go to Tython, go to this point and, sing in the rain and the Jedi will appear or some shit. And you're like, okay, first of all, if I see Kyle Katarn on screen, I'm going to be the exact same way as them name dropping Thrawn. I'm going to be like, I can't believe they did that. And then it's going to settle in. I'm going to be like,
why?
Dude, you had Ahsoka right at your fingertips and you let her go, and we got to pull this dude. I truly think in the long run, I would be happy. The other inkling that I'm kind of scared of is Mara Jade. I would love to see her on screen, but at the same time, are we going to go that route again?
I think the episode's going to taste different once the whole season's done. Because because Ahsoka said no right now doesn't mean that Din doesn't find what he's looking for and comes back and they join forces. Because you got to think, if Ahsoka wants to find Thrawn, if they pull in old canon stories of Thrawn leading the Imperial Remnant, she's not going to just lurk into his chambers by herself. Like, she's going to need some sort of plan. She's going to need backup. Bo-Katan's coming back. Boba Fett's becoming a Mandalorian. He's coming back. All the Mandos are there. Din Djarin's there. Ahsoka's there. And they're going to lead some sort of charge. Prediction. I'm predicting it.
What if
they're going to group up like the Avengers?
What if Din Djarin's parents were Force sensitives and they were hiding Din away from the CIS in that little bunker in that little town to protect him? Because if he were to fall in the hands of the CIS at that point, it would be a very bad thing.
I mean, I feel like there would have already been signs if he was Force sensitive.
I mean, Baby Yoda has a very strong connection to him. And I was trying to feel out Ahsoka and how Ahsoka was.
I guess that's true.
How Ahsoka was feeling with Din. Like, clearly, Ahsoka couldn't get Baby Yoda to do anything.
Right.
She's probably the number one person to make Baby Yoda do anything. Like, she's been around the goddamn block. At this point, Ahsoka Tano is probably more experienced. I'm going to go out there and say it.
Who?
Probably more experienced than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
She's definitely done more and dealt with more. That's for sure.
Think of everything, not better, not stronger,
right?
But
Just
more experience. She's been through more.
And she has a different perspective. I mean, if there's anybody we want leading the new, dude, she has to meet up with Luke at some point. If there's anybody that we want leading the new version of the Jedi, it's definitely her.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, you start making connections like that. And we've always talked about Ahsoka like she's the glue. She's the glue of the Jedi. She's the
glue of Star Wars.
She really is. She glues the Skywalkers together. She glues the eras together. Yeah. She glues the prequels and the original trilogies. The only thing she hasn't quite reached out to is the sequels yet, which if she gets in touch with Luke, we're there. Right. We're there.
Right. Or Thrawn, or the connection to the First Order or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Mara Jade. I mean, we could go. Can you imagine an episode where Mara Jade and Ahsoka team up against Thrawn or something, or get like it's endless possibilities. They have done a great job with dropping stuff and leaving us nothing. Like all we get is the Easter egg, and then it's like good fucking luck. Another week of us speculating over bullshit, and we're not going to get how many. Wow, what's Boba Fett? How is he going to be involved? Oh, he's not. That's why we're.
It's interesting because they left us a breadcrumb at the end of every episode. And then they usually stick something in unnecessary in between. So they start the thing. He's looking for the armor. He finds the Mandos. Okay, diversion with the frogs. But then we do find the Mandos. Mandos tell him about Ahsoka. Okay, then we have a diversion with the Empire base. And he actually does find Ahsoka. Now we know he has to go to Tython. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen in the next episode. What's the diversion going to be?
Yeah, it's got to be a diversion, clearly.
It could be Boba Fett, or it could be another episode of fucking frogs.
Isn't that shitty though? From a certain point of view, it's like, why can't we just get 4 Ahsoka episodes where it's just like,
I know.
But we're doing
the problem
frogs.
Is like
we're doing frogs, then we're doing Ahsoka, then we're doing spiders, and now we're back to Typhoon. Like, what the fuck?
It's like hating the Rathtar scene in episode 7. But you have to wait a week, and you only get to watch the Rathtar scene, and then you have to wait another week to watch the rest of the movie. That's what it's like. Stretched out over the course of 8 or 9 episodes. That's what it feels like.
Chad in the chat here says, "Don't put Ahsoka too high."
We didn't mean like best character ever. We just meant she's spanning across all eras of Star Wars.
She's spanning across all eras and dealing with main characters that we all know and love.
Yeah.
She's dealt with Anakin. She's dealt with Vader Anakin. Yep. She's dealt with Obi-Wan. She's dealt with every fucking person ever. Now the Mandalorian, who has no connection to anybody and was supposed to have no connection, now has a connection with Ahsoka. Like,
yeah, it's Kevin Bacon. 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
You know what Ahsoka has become?
Or whatever. What?
Ahsoka has become the droid of Star Wars.
No, she's become the Rolodex of Star Wars.
She connects everything. Because we don't even really have a droid companion in Mando, which is actually saying that out loud feels kind of like unnatural in the Star Wars. There's always a droid involved.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we have Baby Yoda as the sidekick now, companion.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go back to. We've talked about a lot, but we have jumped around. So let's go back to the episode, and let's take a look at your notes, and let's say. Let's actually like get into the plot and the content of the episode. I mean, it starts off with fucking Ahsoka.
Yeah, you know what pissed me off?
Yeah.
First of all, Disney Plus is not the smoothest goddamn service.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to rewind on Disney Plus? It fucking.
I think it depends on whatever platform you're watching it on.
Oh, really? I've used it on my phone, on my Xbox, and I think on my computer now. And no matter what, if I tried to rewind or something, Disney Plus goes, okay. My point being,
had any problems.
My point being is I started the episode and it jumped 2 minutes in, and I saw Ahsoka like the very first when I clicked play, and it was like Ahsoka battling. I was like, what the fuck? What? Ruined everything. That's why I hated the episode.
Even though you knew she was coming, yeah.
I knew everything. So okay, we see Ahsoka. She's walking up to the compound, killing fuckers in a very badassery way, in the smoke, in the burn down
fog, with their hood up, with dual lightsabers, fucking savagery.
Yeah, it's perfect for Ahsoka. we don't know what's actually happening in the compound. They don't
Nope.
really cover it. It's like obviously there's oppression of some sort, and there's like poor people, and then in the center of the compound, there's a lavishness.
I mean, we get the overall vibe that it's like, oh yeah, someone in power is oppressing everyone on the planet. The ecosystem's ruined, all the trees are burned down and shredded, and this person's just living it up while everyone else is like starving.
I guess my thought was like, why? Like if there is
typical rich bad guy.
But for what reason? Like why? Like usually if there's oppression, like they're using the locals as slaves to dig this mineral up, or they're using, I don't like there was no reason that I saw. Maybe I missed it, but
it was
vague.
It didn't look, I mean, she makes a connection that she was working on the Imperial fleet or for the Imperial fleet. So like her company's gathering resources to send to the drive yards to make ships, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I just saw no aspects of industry, I guess. So I was kind of wondering, like,
I agree.
What's this neighborhood for? I don't know.
The neighborhood. What's this cul-de-sac doing?
I was at a loss. So yeah, and obviously they've had interactions with Ahsoka, and they want to try to stab each other.
Small cameo, which I didn't realize until I watched a review video, but the enforcer guy that's working for that lady is Kyle Reese from Terminator. Just interesting. Nice little cameo. Old classic actor coming back to fuck up things in Star Wars.
It was who Reese from Terminator?
Kyle Reese.
Oh, from the original one.
Yeah, from the OG. Yeah.
Oh, the naked dude in the mall.
Yes, him.
I remember those.
The original Terminator protagonist.
Yep. I remember.
AKA John Connor's father. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I was gonna say he bangs the 80s hair girl.
Linda Hamilton. Yes, she's in all of them. She's in all of them. She's like the main character. Sarah Connor. Okay. Anyways, sorry. That was just supposed to be hey, this actor. Next, please.
Next, please. Oh man. Then they fight, and Din Djarin shows up. Baby Yoda, a bunch of shit. Thrawn.
You skipped over so much.
Fill in the blanks, man. I mean, Baby Yoda gets a name.
Hang on. Mando shows up. He walks around the streets. He tries to talk to people. Everyone's like, "You're not supposed to talk to us. We're all poor." Again, setting the stage that everybody's oppressed. We get it.
I'm only allowed to use 15 words a day, bitch. Like
the evil capitalist of industry oppressing everyone. So we get that, and then he meets with I still don't know her name. I'm just gonna say the Empress, and he mentions the Jedi, and then she wants him to actually kill Ahsoka Tano. She puts a bounty out, and she offers him a Beskar spear, and I'm like, he's got a full plate of armor, and he likes his guns. Why does he want a spear? Like that's not like give him credit.
First of all, why the fuck would you not want a spear?
Well, it's cool, but I mean, we saw he has like 3 little clay discs from Mon Calamari to pay things with. He needs actual Republic credits.
Melt that bitch down and make more armor with it. Beskar
down and make a little miniature baby suit of Beskar for Baby Yoda. That'd be so cool.
Yep. Give him a blaster.
And can we talk about their freaking fight? So Mando goes out and actually comes across Ahsoka, and obviously she's on edge because she's there by herself. And they have a little duel. That was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And the fact that, Beskar steel blocks the lightsaber, like direct, like I know there's armor out there in the Star Wars universe that will like deflect, but like a full on like fucking bash. She was trying to cut the dude in half twice.
Yeah. And he blocked it with just his gauntlets, tossed him up there and blocked the
it was fucking cool.
Blade. Man. So awesome.
What is this turkey sandwich says the face when Mopar doesn't know what the fuck that is? Are you talking about Zerka Corporation?
It's the only corporation I know about. It's the only corporation in Star Wars that matters.
Zerka Corporation with the heel
Actually,
tags.
that'd be a funny Easter egg that I bet you wouldn't complain about.
Depending.
We'll see.
This is my face.
Zerka. What?
I got it.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah, keep going. I want to hear it. And then something.
I was going to say the duel is cool. And then he says, Ahsoka Tano, Bo-Katan sent me to you, blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about this little green creature that's following me around and choking my friends. Jackson, get down, you dangus. Sorry, my dog was interrupting things. And then she talks to Baby Yoda through the Force. They meditate next to a space lamp together.
Does that?
No, whatever you say in the negative light, I'm going to say no. I like it.
Does it bother you at all that like Baby Yoda's been an infant baby, half helpless, like almost aiding to a fault, like doesn't know what he's doing. He's a baby. And then all of a sudden, Ahsoka shows up and Baby Yoda's not a baby anymore.
It was interesting. I don't think it's bad or good. It was just interesting.
Yeah, I just, they made a huge jump when he put Baby Yoda inside of his ship and was trying to teach him how to fucking fix. I was like, ooh, that's a stretch. He's a fucking baby. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not putting a child, into a thing to fix something. I was like,
Right.
They made a pretty big jump there. And then I think that was in preparation for what was happening in the next episode with.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I mean, like a 5-year-old can like, hey, I need that screwdriver. It's not like, hey, get into the engine bay and actually like rewire this for me.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. That was a big jump. And then again, with Ahsoka actually talking to him, it all of a sudden felt like Baby Yoda had like wisdom and knew what the fuck was going on. And I was just like, I'm not mad at it. It felt like a pretty large jump from what I thought Baby Yoda was. I mean, he's 50 years old. He's got to have absorbed something. And come on.
I'm trying to relate the time difference in my head. I guess it kind of makes sense because how long is he going to be a baby that can't fend for himself or talk? Like,
they have to evolve him. Yeah.
Yeah. Evolve him. Here's a leaf stone. Evolve, please.
Leaf stone. This is Baby Ultra. Baby Ultra. He's Grogu now.
Does he have 3 evolutions or just 2?
Mm.
But you know what I mean? I mean, he can't be helpless and like not able to speak for the whole series. I mean, it makes sense that they would introduce.
First of all, it would be annoying as shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just, I get it. It was just, It felt sudden. You've had 50 side plot missions, and all of a sudden, in 2 of them, he can walk, talk, float around, and spit wisdom. He was doing small little like Baby Yoda raps in the background. I mean, he can spit it like a trick.
He got a record deal. Already.
He got a record deal.
Circa Corporation.
Circa rep. It really did feel like all of a sudden, like when Ahsoka started talking to him, we made a huge evolutionary jump in Baby Yoda's like knowledge.
But doesn't it make sense that it follows the canon knowledge that species is more in tune with the Force than other species are natively. So maybe he can't talk like we expect him to talk until he's like 80 years old, but he can commune with anyone that has the Force because he's been trained and he makes a connection.
Yeah. Cameron's saying I did like his reaction to his own name. Every time Mando said it, baby.
That was adorable.
Adorable. It was. What about the name? Like, I mean, it has no meaning to me.
Yeah. I thought about it for a second. It didn't sound weird. It didn't sound out of place. When they said it in the show, I wasn't like audibly laughing or scoffing at it. But I mean, what the fuck does Yoda mean until we know who Yoda is?
Absolutely. I have no issues with the name. Yeah, I mean, I really don't. Okay. There's no issues. It is kind of a goofy name, but in the Star Wars universe, nothing's goofy. So I 100% thought they said Grogo.
I also thought it was Grogo. Yes.
Throughout the entire episode. And I listened specifically because I was like, what the fuck? Grogo? And then he said it again. I was like, okay, perfect. Grogo. And then all of a sudden it's Grogu. I was like,
Cal
what?
Grogo.
Cal Grogo. Yeah.
Cal Grogo. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, the real drop, I guess, was the fact that she didn't hint that he was prequel era and trained by Jedi. She literally said he was trained at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant by our masters that she knew. And it just got me thinking, how did they have this child, like, I don't want to say in custody, but like hidden in secret this whole time? Yoda knew about Yoda. Yoda knew about Baby Yoda. Now I want the DNA test.
See, I'm not mad at it on the surface. They said it. It's true now. It's canon. He was there.
Right. Yeah, you can't really. Yeah.
But like to try to explain your way out of it, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like, goddamn, this was Dooku's. Like
Well,
a Padawan. Like, where are we gonna go with this?
He's a unique specimen because if he was just another Padawan at the temple,
He's one of them unique specimens.
he's rare. He's holographic.
He's
No shadow. If he was just another Padawan, he would have been in those classes with everybody else. And when Obi-Wan comes in, he's like, I can't find this fucking planet. Baby Yoda would have been there and just went, that didn't happen. So was he being hidden for a specific reason? Was he like the very last of Yoda's species and Yoda knew about him and was just trying to, it's like an endangered species. He's just trying to keep him alive. Also, if Yoda knew about it and he left for to go into exile, why didn't he fucking take him with him?
Maybe he didn't have time. Maybe he assumed he was dead. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he did leave from Kashyyyk, so
maybe, baby. I don't know. I'm I'm surprised they went that deep into the backstory and like hard tied him to the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
Like you could have just said he was trained. Leave it at that. Like he's had some training. He's had some training, and you're like, because I mean, we've sat there and wondered. We just did it. We just did our commentary for the first episode, and we were wondering where Baby Yoda actually came from. We see the capsule, but like, where was he before? What was that little compound? So to like give some backstory, it's fine, but I'm just surprised. I'm not mad. I'm surprised they hard tied it to the Jedi Temple, and Ahsoka made it sound like she knew which masters. She's like mentally, she's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because he probably said through the Force, he's like, oh yeah, I know Mace Windu and Yoda, and I saw you kind of in the background every once in a while, and Master Skywalker. He killed all my friends. I was too small. He missed me.
Oh man, he had that halving party upstairs. Remember that?
Halving party. Oh shit, that's ridiculous. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Oh man, yeah. Let's move right along. Like, I guess I mean anything else besides the background training between Ahsoka. I mean, we see Ahsoka test Baby Yoda. He fails with her. We see.
Yeah, he kind of fails, but he also is just, he's out of practice. He doesn't know.
Well, that's what she made it sound like. If you don't use it, you lose it. He's been in like.
Well, no, she actually does, I think, go far enough to say that he was taught to suppress his ability.
Right. He was hiding it. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like, doesn't Seer do that?
Well, out of survival. Yeah, I don't. That's a good question. I couldn't answer that.
Well, like he cut himself off from the Force almost from his point of view. Like Luke in Last Jedi.
Yeah. He just went into survival mode, which,
Yeah.
I don't know. Who grabbed him up from the Jedi Temple? Who left? I mean, obviously he's lived through Order 66. Like almost
or he was
no one.
Stolen before then, or
almost no one.
Did Palpatine know about it?
Let me explain something.
And he got him out of there before Anakin slaughtered everybody.
Let me explain something.
I want to hear it.
With them tying Baby Yoda to the Jedi Temple and the old ways prior to Order 66, we have to assume that Palpatine and Vader do not know. Anakin does not know about this Baby Yoda, because if he does or did,
right,
number one on the fucking list would be get that Baby Yoda.
Right, exactly.
From episode 3.5 to now, to even after their death, they're trying. Right. Palpatine's trying to come back just to kill Baby Yoda.
I have a new apprentice, far younger and more powerful.
There has to be something. There has to be something there. The fact that Anakin's walking around in the halls of the Jedi Temple and assumingly does not know about this child. I don't know.
It's like it also goes and plays into the Jedi's downfall and them running the order incorrectly if they were willing to take in a Yoda species and train him in secret. Like, was he supposed to be a secret weapon? Why? What's the big deal? If he's just another young Jedi Padawan, why didn't they tell everybody else? How come no one knew about it?
Whoa.
Conspiracy.
I just went down a very demented
Yes.
route with Yoda.
Yes.
What if Yoda species don't last that long?
No.
Yeah. What if?
Okay, tell me it.
What if? Well, one, Yoda's so strong in the Force, he just can.
Does it have anything to do with
gonna-
essence transfer?
No, but stealing midichlorians from others like him. That it's worth.
Like he's prolonging his life unnaturally.
He's prolonging his life unnaturally. But in his mindset and the rest of the Jedis, he's so strong that he probably is worth keeping alive. He's so wise and so powerful.
He's seen some shit, yeah.
Absorbing a couple lives along the way might be worth it. Because you don't know.
Or
it's a very demented view, but
it is demented because the cruel version of that is that he's just keeping Baby Yoda around to just suck life force from.
It's like stem cells. It's Jedi stem cells. The little baby Yoda is a living Jedi stem cell, and that's what the Empire wants him for. Is to soak up those midichlorians.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the fact that the Republic was in bed with Kamino with the clones, and the cloning guy works now for the Empire, and he wanted Baby Yoda because of the midichlorians and the experimentation. Maybe somebody from Kamino found out about it and tried to steal him and clone him.
Ooh, Shinobi.
We have a new Sifo-Dyas thing happening.
We're getting to the point where Shinobs is so the possibilities who will respond to the call from Tython.
Yes.
Obviously, we've got Luke, Cal Kestis. We've said that. Ezra is another big one.
Yep.
Now we're starting to reach Yaddle. She was never confirmed dead. Quinlan Voss never confirmed.
But I also feel like they subtly
and Mace
have
Windu
never mentioned Yaddle again and are basically like saying like she doesn't exist, right? Right, guys? She doesn't exist. Does she?
You know what? I'm going down a path you cannot follow. Let's assume,
regardless of the way that I feel about you, Mopar.
Let's assume.
Okay.
Well, we know Mace Windu felt something wrong.
Do not bring. I'm just gonna before you say whatever you need to say. Do not bring back Mace Windu. Never do it. Do not do it.
So Mace Windu knew something was wrong in episode 3.
Yes.
He has those terrible lines. I sense a plot. My ability to whatever fuck around has diminished. He in the back of his mind is like everything's failing. While everything's still kind of hokey day still for a half a second, things are going to be crumbling down. What if he had Baby Yoda in his back pocket? He had knowledge of this child, and he thought to himself, with everything how it sits, it's probably not the best idea to bring him forward to into the light of the Jedi because we're crumbling. So I'm going to get shocked out this fucking window, and I'm going to take Baby Yoda and not live. Mace can still die, but at least send Baby Yoda elsewhere and get him out of this shit. There could be a background jet. It doesn't have to be Mace Windu. I just know Mace was very cognizant of what was going on.
Yeah.
Cognizant. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're saying like Mace sensed something coming and he got Baby Yoda out of the thick of things and entrusted him to somebody else and then died anyways. That's possible.
What? Say that again. Sorry.
I'm not repeating any of it.
I disagree then.
No, I'm just clarifying what you said, that Mace obviously still died. He's not going to come back in alive, but he sensed something, wasn't sure what it was, and got Baby Yoda out of there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Keep him safe. Yeah. Again, that kind of harkens back to the idea of the Jedi treating him like he's some secret weapon, which is weird. Very weird.
Shinobi says most of the leaks point towards Ezra.
I mean,
we know leaks don't hold any water, which sounds.
It seems obvious to me. Filoni's involved. He's the one that brings back Ahsoka. If he had to bring back another Jedi to help things along, it would make sense that it would be Ezra. Yet another animation to live action transference. And also we know, well, we barely know because we didn't watch it, but Ezra and Thrawn in Rebels go through some sort of time portal that I can't remember the details about. So if Thrawn's still around and Ahsoka's looking for him, it would make sense that she's also looking for Ezra / Ezra is still alive.
I wish Rebels was good, and I knew more about
You gotta
Ezra. I'm sorry.
end that train of thought right there. I agree with you, though. I agree with you.
Please stop talking. I agree with everything you were gonna say.
But they don't need to hear it again. I do agree with you, though.
Cal Kestis is truly a great option too, though. If there was a 1 and 2 option, it'd probably be Ezra is answering the call on
Riley just threw me all off. He pops into the chat. My meat is pleased to see you both.
meat pleasured. Yeah, Ezra would probably be the number 1. I think Cal Kestis is the obvious number 2. If there's gonna be a wild card and they want to go that far out there, I do think Kyle Katarn could be the wild card. I really don't think they're gonna pull Luke into this. I don't. They might name drop him, but I don't think they're gonna pull him in.
I have to imagine, with the way that Luke's new Jedi Temple did not go well, I have to imagine he never met up with Ahsoka or Cal Kestis or anybody else that would have been like, bro, do not do that, please. If he had, if he and Ahsoka were powwowing, I feel like he would not have done things the way he did. And he would have been more serious about Kylo Ren, or wouldn't have let Snoke get into his head, or what have you.
The other thing to consider is Luke drops some major knowledge in Episode 8.
Yeah,
Palpatine and all this stuff that, he probably couldn't have read in a fucking book. That he either heard it from Yoda, heard it from Obi-Wan as a Force ghost, or came across a Jedi like Ahsoka at some point, and she just knowledge dropped him to death and like really opened his eyes. And that's probably what might have struck fear in Luke and gave him huge doubts. He had been fucking poster boy up until then, even beyond Episode 6. I mean, you can argue, okay, he fell to the dark side for a half a second and cut his dad's arms off in 6. But at the same time, he still won.
He didn't fall to the dark side. He just got a little taste. He just got like a sample size at the mall about dark side.
Meat sampler.
Some of those meats. Also, we're talking about the Jedi answering the call being the Jedi that are still alive. They could also go Force Ghost route. And he could be visited by Obi-Wan or the real Yoda or Anakin or Darth Vader. Or that's
I think there's a 0% chance Anakin or Vader shows up. 0%.
No, yeah, I agree. But Force Ghost is a possibility.
I don't think Obi-Wan even fits.
Dude, what if everyone wanted Anakin to come back in Rise of Skywalker as a Force Ghost to help Rey out or do something? What if this is where Hayden Christensen comes back as Anakin? Imagine that shit. I'm ruining my own surprises as I say them. Imagine it.
I'm creating an Easter egg for my own hunt.
I've created an Easter egg, one far younger and more powerful. Also, I won't rule out the Kyle Katarn thing. I think it's likely that he'll be tied in with the New Republic and with the Dark Troopers. I don't know if they're going to make him Force sensitive in this new canon if they were to do that. So I would say if a Jedi comes into the mix, it's someone that we've already seen before.
Yeah. I don't know. It is exciting. I mean, it's kept this goddamn podcast going for way too long. With them leaving the doors open, you just don't know. There's so many. They could make a fucking, what they should do is make a goddamn brand new Jedi and say he was there at the temple years and years ago, and that he knows or had dealt with Yoda and all the other fuckers, but he's his own Jedi or something like.
That's what they kind of did with Cal Kestis.
Yeah, well, and that's my point. Or like someone like Quinlan Voss, who we are vaguely familiar with and who has a crazy background, but it's not been like out in the open, and they could really build upon a character that has existed, but they could still grow with the character.
I think Ezra or Cal Kestis makes the most sense for me.
I don't know.
I don't know if they have the bandwidth to introduce a brand new character and give us their backstory. I think it's more like, well, let's throw in this little cameo from someone who you thought was dead or missing, and they're actually still alive. Yeah.
What if it's Maul?
Everything always comes back to Maul.
He's just still alive. He's got holes and he's cut in half. He's got no legs anymore. He's Lieutenant Dan.
Turkey Sandwich up there actually said when we were talking about Mace Windu, he's like, Mace Windu died very similar to how Darth Maul died. We didn't see the conclusion. He wasn't burned. He wasn't buried.
How Star Wars Emperor dies that way. Captain Phasma dies that way. Oh, there's a big. Oh, just toss him down there. We'll just assume him dead.
Boba Fett.
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
We'll just. Oh, he's on fire. I just assume. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. All right. So what happens next in the episode?
Nothing else really matters.
She says she's not going to train him because he loves you. He thinks you're his dad. And if you die, he's going to be pissed and he's going to murder the galaxy. That's what she's thinking. She's got PTSD from Vader, and I don't blame it.
So they kind of plot to get into the compound and kill the woman. I hate saying the woman. I forget what her name is.
I don't know.
I 100% assumed they were going to pull a Chewbacca and put Ahsoka in handcuffs and walk her ass in there as a prisoner. 100% thought that was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because of how Star Wars of it.
Whoa.
But that didn't happen.
No, it did not.
So, yeah, they go full Rochambeau and slice the place up. There's HKs running around. Like you said, Terminator's there too.
Yep. Ahsoka's in the shadows, fucking everything around.
I also really thought, and maybe they will. It's they've thrown so many Easter eggs at us that I'm looking for Easter eggs where there's not Easter eggs. Like the dude that's on the screen the most, the village guy. I was like, He's been on screen like 3 times this episode. There's very major importance with him, and there's nothing.
Well, it's hinted at something. They just don't outright tell us. I mean, at the end, once they kill all the bad guys, she doesn't put him in charge. He like assumes his role as like protector of the village. Mm-hmm. To me, I got the sense that like he was the guy in charge before this company came in and fucked everybody up.
Okay.
They kind of put his cloak back on him and gave him his little golden chain link sash thing, and they're like, okay, now we're back to normal.
Oh, I'll have to watch it again. Some of the small stuff you missed the first time.
So
also, I know we kind of talked about it, but what a cool world! How it's like a forest world, but it's like when he's landing, you see the forest fires, and you're like,
yep,
ooh, this place is fucked.
Also, there was some dinosaur fucking creatures in the background.
Oh my god, there's some Skyrim characters. You know those floating jellies, the Netch in Skyrim,
like the ecto. What though? No, I don't know.
I'm looking it up. Skyrim Netch.
I almost said ectoplasm. That's what you get from a ghost. It's not an actual thing.
So I'm going to screen share here real quick.
Or like a will-o'-the-wisp.
So picture what was in Star Wars in the most recent episode. The things floating, the big things floating in the background.
Okay.
It was these fuckers.
Oh.
This is on Solstein. It was part of one of the DLCs for Skyrim.
I never saw those. Damn.
Yeah. I was like, there's Netch in the background. Like, what the fuck? Like, they were exactly this. It felt very Mass Effect, actually, but
well, yeah, they look like the jellyfish. I can't remember their name.
The jellyfish, yeah.
They have a name though.
Oh, in
this one is upset.
Yep, yeah. In I know what you're talking about now. I can't remember the name of that species either in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Immediately when I saw them, I'm like, they're slow moving, dangly, floating things. I was like, this is Skyrim. We're back in
slow danglers.
So this is the slow danglers. Oh man, there's another thing I call those, slow danglers.
What did you think of the duel between what's her face and Ahsoka?
I thought it was unique. I love the aspect that they add that sound of the Beskar, how it just has that ring. The fucking tuning fork.
Yep.
We're back at that where it's like ting ting, who's winning? Ting ting ting. Oh,
my girl's winning.
Ting ting ting.
And their little standoff happening.
That's gonna be the evil woman's new name is Ting Ting. I don't.
Ting Tang. Ting Tang. Cinematography of the fight was awesome. I just always think it's weird that I haven't seen force powers used mid-duel by Ahsoka in this episode. I don't think. I could be wrong, But I'm like, yeah, Beskar can block lightsabers, but you're also a Jedi. So like just shove her up against the wall until she tells you what the information that you need to know. Like you don't have to duel her, you know what I mean?
Sometimes, yeah, I've seen Ahsoka do anything and everything in the cartoons, and now you're standing here against this. I was like, dude, toss her in the water. Fuck her.
Very cool. But yeah, again, very cool fight scene in general.
There's always going to be limiting aspects too. Like, of course, Ahsoka's older. She's probably not as well trained. She's probably out of shape, to be honest. I mean, how long has she been on this backwater planet fucking around with these people?
She didn't look out of shape to me.
How did you?
She was moving and grooving through those woods, man. She didn't look out of shape.
Moving and grooving. How did you have any issues with the way Ahsoka looked?
You know, I think somebody in the WhatsApp talked about the Leikus. I think that's what they're called, being a little shorter than they were when we saw her as an adult in Rebels. That's the first thing I thought of. It was like those could look kind of stumpy. I didn't think it looked bad. It just looked different. And I think it's just chalked up to animation character becoming live action. It's just slightly different.
Yeah, I immediately noticed them. I'm not going to sit here and lie. Did it bother me? Not necessarily. It really didn't. I just chalked it up to it's Star Wars. They didn't want to do it CGI, so they did an actual, shipping package.
I didn't think they looked.
The reason why
bad.
I called it that is she had like creases or wrinkles in part of them, and it looked like it had been in a box and like a shipping, like in a shipping package, and a box had like rubbed up against it a couple times, and it just was like pushed in. It didn't bother me enough to make me like, oh,
you should make a whole YouTube video about how her Leikus were packing slips.
But supposedly they did have longer ones on her, but because of the choreography necessary, it was getting in Rosario's way. So they said, you know what? We'll just put the shorter ones on you. Like it doesn't need to make sense. You still got them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, like I said, it was fine. The wrinkles that you speak of, I chalked it up to her being, we said chalk a lot, didn't we? I chalked up to her being like older. So like, she's got wrinkles.
Yeah, I guess my issue is Shakti was also very old and she had no wrinkles.
Well, Shakti's a savage. So
and hers, supposedly Torgruda's headdresses are supposed to get bigger and bigger as they get older. And of course we see Ahsoka older. Not only are they wrinkled, they're smaller.
Damn it, Filoni.
It really doesn't. It didn't ruin anything. I was fine.
Ruined. Now the whole series is ruined, if you want to be honest. God.
Baby Yoda's more wrinkly than the rest of them. He's fucking around.
Yeah, that's true.
How old is Ahsoka at this point? Baby Yoda's probably older than her.
I don't even know. What she like 10 at the beginning of Clone Wars or something?
Good question.
12 something?
Ahsoka age.
When was she born? Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Or just look up her birth date and we can calculate it because Mandalorian's what, 8 ABY?
Ahsoka was Anakin Skywalker's peppy 16-year-old Padawan.
Okay. So let's say 16 plus 20 and then plus another 8. So yeah, she's like 50.
Let's see if they have an actual.
Honestly, not old enough to pull the old card where she's fighting slower because she's old. I don't buy that.
No, and especially in Jedi years, 50 ain't shit.
Yeah. Shinobi here confirms Ahsoka's 45, Grogu's 50.
Yeah. Okay.
Shinobi, fucking savage.
He makes half of this stuff up, He has no idea. He's like, yep, 45 for sure.
Well, if we didn't have the answer from him, we would make it up anyways. So
I know.
We're about even.
Yep.
So they save the town. Everyone's happy. But she still refuses to train Baby Yoda. I like the decision. I like her reasoning behind it. And for the show, I like the fact that they're not splitting up. I'm cool with that. I dig it.
Were you mad? How did you feel about Ahsoka leaving them? Like, I felt like Ahsoka did her bidding, save the town, and she should probably be going with them, especially to an ancient, like, Jedi Temple-esque place.
I did think that. I don't feel like Ahsoka joining up with Mando and Grogu would be weird. I don't think it would feel forced. I was waiting for her to say like, I'm not going to train him, but I'll come along with you and, watch over him or provide some guidance or make sure you don't screw him up or help you find the next person who can train him. I was waiting for some of that.
It would have been cool to like not team up. We've seen the team up thing, but ride along with him, escort him to the temple that you talked about or the spot.
Tython, yeah.
And at that point, try to reconnect with a Jedi, which, in sense, whoever they come across on Tython or whatever it is.
I mean, she does say like there
Mando
aren't much.
will go one way.
Sorry, go ahead.
Mando will go one way. You're needed over here with Baby Yoda, and then that's where Ahsoka will go another way, depending on who shows up.
Yeah.
Or maybe Ahsoka does her own fucking sit down powwow at the peak, and talks with another different person. Like, there's so many possibilities if she were to tag along.
I guess it's just a matter of like how far removed is Ahsoka. I mean, she says there aren't many of us left anymore. Yeah, that's a true statement. But do you know how many are left? Have you made contact with them in the past? Are you still trying to make contact with them? Do you pen pal each other every once in a while? Like, what's the plan? Or is she just hell bent on finding Thrawn and only Thrawn?
That's true. She's hell bent on the Thrawn thing.
Shinobi just called a prediction here. Kyle Katarn is the one that shows up and takes Grogu to the Valley of the Jedi. We did say that earlier, so before you jumped on Shinobi.
You took that from me.
No, I'm not. I'm credit. You both get credit, co-authors.
No, I thought of it first. I want full credit.
I trust Shinobi's predictions more than you. He follows more of the news and the rumors than we do.
They're hardly predictions. I have foreseen it.
They're not predictions. They're facts, bro.
Bro. They're only predictions because they haven't happened yet.
We only speak in facts here.
Anything else? Again, do you want to speak anything more about Thrawn? The fact that we're left with Ahsoka chasing after this Grand Admiral Thrawn.
I think this show could evolve into some sort of Empire to First Order transition, and I don't know if I'm going to be mad about it. Honestly, I don't think I'll be mad about it.
I'm okay with it. Yeah. Again, I just if too connected is my key thing. If it gets to that point and they continue going down the route, it I don't know. I'm okay with it. I would like brand new again.
I hear the concerns about the over fan service and the over Easter eggs and the over connection. I do. I'm trying to reserve judgment until the season's over, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. If they do put Thrawn on screen, who do you think? Who played
I guess I would assume that it's the same guy that voiced him in Rebels. It was Mads Mikkelsen's brother. I can't remember his name. Mads Mikkelsen is Jyn Erso's father. I couldn't remember his name. Galen Erso, yes.
Galen Erso.
So his brother was a voice actor for Thrawn in the animated. So we'll see.
Who's the Quasar guy from Marvel with the Infinity Stone in his forehead?
Thanos. Oh, sorry. I heard Infinity Stone and thought Thanos. Vision is the one. That has
Vision, the guy who played Vision. I could see put a different color makeup on him and have him be Thrawn.
Think about that statement more closely. Think about it. Nothing.
Why, is it because he's K2SO?
No, he is bad guy in Solo.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't he who plays K2SO? I thought. Why am I blanking?
I don't know. Some accents.
Kenny Blankenship.
No, he is. I can't remember his name either. I'm blanking on everything. My memory sucks. I need to watch Solo, and the podcast has come to an end.
That's about it, baby.
I got new speakers, so maybe I'll watch Solo as an
Alan Tudyk.
Bump up the sound system, so to speak. I don't know.
Alan Tudyk was the. Yeah, I guess we need more of a conniving savage as one of them fuckers.
Interesting. Well, I guess we have to wait 4 more days to find out what's going to happen next.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be really good.
Hmm.
That'd be really good. I trust Jon Favreau, man. I think it's all going to be really good. I'm curious. Remember you said that season 1 felt way different once it was over and you could watch it all back to back. I feel the same thing's going to happen again. We're going to nitpick and overanalyze everything week to week because that's what we do on the podcast. And then once it's all out, we're going to be thrilled. So
hopefully this is the only thing we've got. So we have the opportunity to overanalyze. We don't have a
High
ton
Republic
of service here. Yeah, but High
It'll be out.
We're coming up to that soon. I did boot up Squadrons in hopes to play as a B-wing. I didn't realize it doesn't drop until they said December.
Yeah. So it's forthcoming along with private matches. So I think it's time that we revisit that game because I only played like 8 hours of it, if even.
I played it a little bit this week. Very surface level. It is entertaining. It feels a little one-dimensional right now, but if they add more play styles, more game modes, I think they'll open it up a bit. So
I think it's one that I just need to come to terms with. I'm never going to be really good at multiplayer, and we should just play like co-op matches against AI. I think that would just be more fun.
That's what I do.
Like zombies or something.
If I'm playing by myself, I am not fucking around online by myself because it's just shitty.
Yeah.
So. And I feel like I'm pretty good at the game, and I still yeah, I mean it's fun on the surface. I'm excited to kind of as the game develops more and more DLCs and more ships, so it'll be fun.
I need the big because we weren't even supposed to get one update, let alone 2 ships, let alone more in the future. So
look, we'll if they add the Naboo Starfighter, 100%, it's probably one of the greatest. It's one of the greatest games of all time.
It's not gonna happen.
Jedi Starfighter.
This is post 6, so it's all going to be Empire Rebels stuff.
Could you imagine prequel stuff?
What if fun? The fucking Squadrons correlates into Mandalorian, into the First Order? Everything's connected. Do you understand?
Mm-mm.
What if Yoda talks about his plans for a future baby Yoda in High Republic? It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Kevin Bacon. See?
Now that you say that.
Bye. Stop. Stop. Kevin Bacon. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks. We had a lot of people on this. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. Turkey Sandwich, Shinobi, Brennan Quinn, Zale. Who else was in here? Fucko. You guys are all great human beings.
Zale jumped in for half a second.
Wonderful human being. We'll catch you next time. Bippity boppity.